What is going on, guys? I didn't even hit the yo. Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pride Podcast, episode 363 on the Blue Wire Network. I am your host, Tyler, joined by my main guy, Mr. Malcolm Hart. Malcolm, how are we feeling?
What the fuck did we witness just now, man?
A beatdown.
We witnessed an ass whooping. That was a can. They opened a can of ass whooping on the Dallas Cowboys today in Jerry's World. This was beautiful.
I don't want to go the whole "I told you so" route or "I said this is gonna happen," but this was personal, man. This game was personal, man. We're gonna talk about this game. But I just want to see. I knew this game was personal. Ben Johnson is one petty ass motherfucker, and I love every single bit of it. He tried to get an offensive lineman touchdown in Dallas so badly today.
He wanted
it. Tried
so bad.
it. He had 3 plays where he had offensive linemen eligible for a catch. He had Taylor Decker in the end zone, which is obviously what
we're blowing them out. By the way,
we're blowing them out. Yes, we're blowing them out. Yeah, you don't need to get creative. You could just run the ball, punt the ball, whatever you want to do. You don't got to do all these plays. Ben Johnson and the Detroit Lions are some petty motherfuckers, and I love every second of it, man.
Yo, 100%. If I was Mike McCarthy, I would Jim Schwartz their ass at the end of that game. I would have tried to fight every single one of the coaches. I would have probably lost because you don't want to fuck with Dan Campbell. You don't want to fuck with Dan Campbell. So I probably would have lost. But I still would have attempted to throw hands all the way out to see me after doing all that. That would have been, that's cold.
And you know what? This goes on to earlier in the week. This goes on from last year, from when the game happened. The Lions have been making jokes about being the eligible, whatever. The Lions had a watch party actually in Detroit. I don't know if you know this, Malcolm. The Lions had a watch party at Ford Field today for this game. They don't do watch parties during the regular season very often. This is the first one I've ever actually seen for a regular season game ever. They've done it for the playoffs, for the NFC Championship game last year. Makes sense, right? They did it for the regular season game today, right? Ford Field did a watch party. They gave everybody who was in attendance a rally towel. The rally towel says reporting eligible for the game.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
The Lions are a petty ass organization, and I love it because I love being petty because that's what it's all about. Fuck these guys. This game had build up, man. This game had build up. They wanted to not just beat the Cowboys. They didn't want to just, hey, we'll take a win. No, they wanted to embarrass them. They wanted to kick the Cowboys' ass. And how about to make it even better? You know whose birthday is today?
Oh, Jerry Jones.
That old fart Jerry Jones. That old fart Jerry Jones birthday.
83?
82, 83. Happy birthday, motherfucker. I hope you enjoyed that game in your own stadium.
I don't think he did.
In your own home stadium. Here we go. Dak Prescott.
Here we go.
Looked like absolute dog shit. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, outside of playoff victories, like I can't think of a better victory in a minute outside of playoff victories and like clinching stuff and all that.
That was awesome, man. And you know what? I'm actually going to do something brand spanking new right now. Something that we haven't done on our live show before. I am going to do a new segment, and this segment is called the Play of the Day. I'm just calling it that, the Play of the Day. And I'm just going to show you what that Play of the Day is. And this is the Play of the Day right here.
Beat. Toss it to Montgomery, back to St. Brown, back to Goff. Too much to handle, and Laporta makes a great catch. A+ throw by Goff. And that creativity.
Did he hear the Jared Goff chant in Jerry World?
Yeah,
I loved it.
I don't want that to be like just like, hey, we do that everywhere. No, that's impressive, guys. What the Lions did just in Dallas right now was impressive. Injuries or not, this fan base is absolutely nuts. You take over some games in the Midwest. That's cool. That's great. That's cute. Take over a game in Arizona. That's cute. Taking over a game in Jerry's World on his 82nd birthday in America's Game of the Week? No, man. It doesn't get better than that.
I know Cowboys fans that were there, like those diehard Cowboys fans, they're sick to their stomach.
It doesn't get better than that.
They were sick to their stomachs having to hear Jared Goff chants in their stadium.
Yep.
Jared Goff chants. Let's go Lions chants in their home stadium. That made them sick to their stomach. There's so many diehard Cowboys fans, and I know that irked them. I know that killed them, man.
I mean,
I loved it.
We've experienced it when we were bad. I mean, not to say the Cowboys are going to be a bad team this year, but whatever. That's not the point of it. Like, we've experienced it in the past, right? Where Packers fans take over our stadium, and we just feel that sickness to our stomach, hearing that "Go Pack, go" at Ford Field. It's disgusting. So now that we're on the other side of this, and we're going to road stadiums, and we're chanting "Let's go Lions," and we're saying "Let's Jared Goff," or wherever the hell we want to chant, it is just so satisfying being on this side. And man, oh man, that was as good as it gets, man. That's a good old ass kicking, man. That's just a good old ass kicking, and against the Dallas Cowboys.
I still hold a grudge against the New York Jets because of that shit.
Yeah. Yep.
I still hold a grudge. This is 2018.
Yep.
If just because they won the game, and then they're all chanting JETS, Jets,
and it was loud
in Ford Field.
Yep.
Till this day, I hold a grudge against the Jets because of that. So those Dallas Cowboys fans, they hate us right now. They hate us hate us.
We've hated them. We've hated them for so many years. With all the bullshit that's happened between the Lions and Cowboys, we don't have to get into it, but you guys know it. We know it. Like, we've hated them. So to get this revenge on the Cowboys, man, like I said, and it just doesn't get better than this, dude. It just doesn't get better than this. I'm glad. Like, I was pretty confident we're gonna win the game. I told you guys before the show, I'll give me a -21 spread. I think that -3 spread was so disrespectful towards the Detroit Lions. But just to whoop their ass, man, that's just a great feeling. And it's not any team. It's the Dallas Cowboys in their home stadium. We embarrassed them on America's Game of the Week. It doesn't get better than that, man. Okay. Where do we start with this game, though? Like, there's so many elements we could start. You want to start off with the offense? I think that's a fair way to start.
You talk about the Lions offense?
The Lions offense.
The Lions offense. Let's start with the Lions offense.
Where do we start? What's like the biggest takeaway from that, I guess, is I'll ask you.
Dominance, man. They dominated anything they wanted to do. And this is what we talked about, run the ball, and you get to a point that you can do anything you want to do. And that's what they did. Once the Cowboys sucked in and tried to stop the run, what did Jared Goff do? Said, okay, I'll pass the ball around. They try to play man, try to play zone. Nothing worked. It was crazy. And then Diggs, oh man, he had a rough day trying to stop J-Mo today, because J-Mo was just running all around the field.
Yeah,
it was great, man. The Lions were able to do whatever they want. That offense, man, if they play like that offensively, who could beat them?
I mean, we talked about it. This was a very favorable match for the Lions coming in offensively. Obviously, Dallas had some key injuries, but like we talked about it coming into the season too. It's just like it's a pick your poison. What are you going to stop on this Detroit Lions offense? What are you going to focus on this Detroit Lions offense? And honestly, it's like you could only do so many things. Like, okay, you're going to circle number 14, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay, we'll get the running game involved. We'll get David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs involved. Okay, you want to circle those guys? You want to try to stop this Lions run game? Okay, we got number 14. We have number 9. And we saw it a little bit today, but we still have number 87, Sam Laporta, who's going to eventually get involved in this offense and be a big part of this offense as well. I mean, my goodness, like it's pick your poison. What do you want to stop here? And are the Lions going to score 40 points every single week? No. But have they done the last 2 games? Yes. But to say that's sustainable, probably not. But like, this is a very, very, very good offense. And yeah, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish, man. Finish.
Yeah, and I know it's only 6 weeks, but there's not a team that looks like the Detroit Lions right now.
Absolutely, man. I think what the Lions did the most, they struck fear into the NFL. They showed the NFL, all the teams right now, and look, we can run the ball. We can pass the ball. Pick your poison pretty much. And when you come to play the Lions, pick your poison, because you're gonna have a hard time trying to stop us all 4 quarters. The only thing that's gonna stop the Detroit Lions is the Detroit Lions. I don't see a defense right now that's gonna just say, okay, we're gonna shut down their running game and shut down their passing game and just dominate the offensive line. There's no team in the NFL that's gonna do that. I think the only way Detroit's gonna, fall apart is the Detroit Lions. Nobody's gonna. I don't see any team doing that to the Detroit Lions, man.
Absolutely. And even the one loss we have this year, I said it even then. I think we beat ourselves that game with the game plan and everything. And I think it was a good wake-up call for this team. I think they realize what their identity is that they have to get this running game going, and then the whole offense really gets going. Let's throw Jared Goff 55 times a game. That's not a win. That's not a winning formula. This is the winning formula. What we've seen the last 2 games is the winning formula. You have 2 dominant running backs. David Montgomery's a top back, man. He is a top back.
Oh my goodness.
I know we said in the pregame show, I don't want to be too repetitive. Like he is legitimately a top back in the NFL right now. He's not just a 1-2 punch anymore. He is the guy. He's a 3-down back. He is legit. And you have Jahmyr Gibbs to go alongside with him to keep him fresh.
Sonic and Knuckles. In the name, it goes perfect for them. Sonic and Knuckles. It is perfect for them.
It is, yes. So it's like, pick your poison, man. Like that's where this offense all starts. This offensive line and this running game. You get that going, that's when all the other stuff really gets going. You want to get 14 involved. You want to get 9 involved. You want to get 87 involved. It'll happen. Just get that running game going and rely on your offensive line. JG's going to get comfortable, and it's going to flow perfectly.
Yeah, and real quick, just wanted to say shout out to Aaron for commenting and tuning in. And yeah, man, that -3 was that was probably the easiest money anybody made. If anybody put any bets in, that was I wish I could have used that as a lock of the week because that was just easy money right there.
I told you it was a disrespectful line. It was a disrespectful line coming into the game to what Dallas was dealing with injuries wise, what the Lions had health wise, and just where the teams were. The Lions were fresh, man, coming off a bye week. Dallas, obviously, just waiting for this bye week. They need this bye week very badly that they're going to have next week. So it just wasn't a good game for Dallas. It wasn't a good situation for Dallas. And I had a gut feeling it's like kind of what the Lions did last year coming out of the bye. I had a feeling they were going to kind of do it again this year. And I just felt like the defense would be a little better than where it was. If you guys remember, that was that Chargers game last year where the offense just absolutely dominated. And we saw it again this week, man. It's a nice sight, man. That's 2 games in a row. Let's just keep chalking them up, man. This offense looks really, really good, and they're in their bag right now.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. I don't know what else to say about their offense. They're dominant. That just goes to show, man.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson.
That's going to be their identity. Like that's what makes them the elite football team is this offense. That's what they're going to run from. It's like if they have these aspirations of going out to a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl, it's going to have to be from this offense. And the last 2 games, they've really answered that call. And it was a bit of a sluggish start the first 3 weeks, but I think the last 2 weeks, this is like the offense that you really, really expect to see out of this Detroit Lions. So, all right. Now let's talk about this defensive side of the ball. Dominant, absolutely dominant, man. And we kind of said it in the pregame show was you take away this running game, this non-threat of a running game of old ass geezer Ezekiel Elliott and Rico Dowdle. If you could eliminate that and make Dak Prescott one-dimensional with CeeDee Lamb and a bunch of everyone else's, it's going to look something like that. Now, did I think they were not going to give a single touchdown up? No, but they absolutely dominated.
Holy shit. I didn't even think about that. They didn't give up that 1 touchdown.
They didn't give 1 touchdown. And it all started with stopping that non-existent running game, with not having to blitz as much and just relying on your front 4 and getting consistent pressure on Dak Prescott and getting pressure on this Dallas Cowboys offensive line. And we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but Aiden Hutchinson, Lee McNeil, all having really big days, and DJ Reader on that defensive line. And obviously they got turnovers as well. Great game execution out of Aaron Glenn, man. Had a great game plan, and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, that defense, man. Aaron Glenn's going to be a head coach next year. Aaron Glenn. I think there's a big chance we may lose both coordinators. I think we're going to go far. I mean, if everything goes to plan, I think if the Lions win the Super Bowl, I don't want to get too far ahead. We're going to lose both coordinators. Aaron Glenn is doing a hell of a job with this defense. Those guys are just playing phenomenal. All of them. That defensive line, they're able to put pressure. It was something that we didn't see last year. The cornerbacks are playing great. We're seeing PBUs. We didn't see much PBUs last. I don't think Did we even see any PBUs last year? I don't think I could probably count on one hand how many PBUs we had last year, all season long. It was non-existent. But we got guys that could cover. We got guys that can break up passes, and we got playmakers back there. This is if the Lions are playing complementary offense and defense, man. I mean, I don't know what you do.
Yeah, I think like the offense is like that's the expectation we're gonna have a high-powered offense all year. I think the defense is more matchup based, and this was a really good matchup for them. Honestly, it's just like they're already a really good run defense, and this was a non-threat of a running game. And we talk about it like there's some quarterbacks that could mask a bad running game, not many. And Dak Prescott's not in that conversation where he could mask a bad running game, and we've seen it throughout the first 6 weeks. Is like you need some type of threat. Because if there's no threat at all, man, and your really only assignment as far as a tough receiver is CeeDee Lamb, like, yes, he's dominant. He's a great receiver, but, like, there's only so much you could do when that is your only threat. Because we talk about it, who are the guys you're circling? And when you play the Dallas Cowboys now, offensively, I mean, is there anyone you're circling outside of CeeDee Lamb now? No. They don't have those threats anymore like they used to. It's just CeeDee Lamb and everyone else now. They have a non-existent running game. And like I said, the quarterback can only do so much. He can't mask everything and only have one threat. So it's not a super tough game plan when you're playing the Dallas Cowboys offensively. And the Lions just had a perfect game plan coming into it. Try to let everyone else beat you. And those guys just didn't do enough. And they played really well.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys kind of do it to themselves. It's like I knew they got the game plan probably went away from them early because the score just got out of hand. So they probably were forced to just pass. But if you look at the other games that they played, they just kind of go away from the running game and try to put more of the team offensively on Dak's shoulders, which is not a good idea. I mean, we've seen it with Stafford. When you try to just make a team one-dimensional offensively, it's really hard, man. I mean, you got to have a lot of things working with you to pull that off. Unless you were – playing at an all-pro level, elite, like you seen Aaron Rodgers did when he won his Super Bowl year, it's not going to happen. It's really tough to do. You got to have a defense that's clicking. You got to, get stops. You got to get turnovers, and it's like I said, it's hard, especially if teams know it's coming. They're just going to play 270 times, which you saw. I told you guys, we're going to play a lot of 270 times because they can't run the ball. Yeah. You play 270 high, and then guess what? If overthrow happens, the ball's gonna go right to them. They go right to the safeties, and we seen it. We see it. Brian Branch played his ass off today. Jesus Christ!
That first interception was beautiful in the end zone.
Yeah, he just read it perfectly, man. He played that was just a cover 3. He was playing the flats, and then he read his eyes and he saw Diggs behind him and just got the interception.
Yeah, or Lamb. Yeah.
Oh, Lamb. My bad. Lamb.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful, man. They're playing lights out right now, man, and I love it. It's like, and I was making jokes. Earlier. I was making jokes on Twitter earlier, like what happened? This was all a dream. What happened? This is all a dream. We woke up and it was like Matt Patricia was our coach. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, come on, man. like
Rent
yourself or something, dude.
No, well, I'm telling you that this seems too good to be true, man, because the Lions are dominant right now, man. Like, this is a team right now that's like, how long we been asking for a team like this?
Whole life.
Like, even when we started the pod 2018, man. We started the pod 2018, and then our defense and our pressure rate was so awful. We should watch other teams and say what? We should say, shit, man, I wish
we had a guy like that.
I wish we had a pass rush like that. Why can't we pressure the quarterback like these other teams are?
Yeah.
And then now we're doing it, man. We're doing everything that we thought this Lions team could do, man. It feels like a dream, to be honest with you, man, because we're so dominant right now. As I'm not used to this shit.
All right, well, let's bring the mood down a little bit right now. Just a little bit. It's more than a little bit, but
this is a lot. Don't.
Yeah, I'm not.
I thought we were gonna say this to the end, like, or something. But,
well, I think it's fair to mention it because, like, okay, the defense dominated today.
They dominated.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we kind of asked the question offensively. Yeah, it's sustainable. They could do this all year. Okay, now defensively,
oh shit,
you're losing your best player. Let's be honest. You're probably for the rest of the season. 97-8 Hutchinson. Probably done for the season. There's
no problem. He broke his leg. He's done.
It was a gruesome injury, whatever, right? He's out. What do the Lions defensively have to do now without 97?
I mean, you have two options. If you're Brad Holmes, you have two options here, man. You can either look at this team, look at the grit of this team, and say that we're going to be okay. To be honest with you, even when he went down the second half, they were still okay. I mean, we didn't get that same amount of that elite pressure from that elite guy, but collectively as a unit, they're still able to do it. So if you're Brad Holmes, you look at his team saying, okay, we have enough talent here to pull this off if we just sit put. Or
do you believe that?
I mean, you gotta rely on a lot of guys to step up. We need more games like what Lee McNeil did. If Lee McNeil could be that dominant, you might be okay. But you have a choice. You can either go out and market, get a guy that wants to win in a pretty poor situation, who's probably from Detroit or Michigan, and he wants to, and he loves. I mean, he even said that any other team he would play for, it would be Detroit.
Oh, you're referring to another white edge rusher?
I'm just saying, like you can either go that route, get another elite guy here. I don't know how it'll work out money wise, but if you want to win, man, you make it happen, and then you don't skip a beat if you bring another elite guy here. Or like I said, or you believe in the guys you have here. You just hope somebody can step up. Maybe like when 2211 says, hopefully Houston gets back to his old self. If that happens, then you might be okay. You might be able to, right? Because I think our secondary is good enough that we don't have to have an elite pass rush. But as long as we have some type of pressure on the quarterback, we'll be able to get some stops and force some turnovers. We got some dogs back there, man. So I think we'll be fine. But if you want to have that type of team that we're seeing earlier, where you get that elite guy coming off the edge, where teams have to game plan for him, you go in the market, man, and make it happen.
So we actually just got officially a word, by no surprise, but for Aiden Hutchinson, broken tibia is the official injury for him. So, you could throw that out the window. Yeah, he's done, right?
Yeah.
This is tough, right? Because you do bring a good point up, right? And saying when Hutch did go down, granted, the situation's a lot different. The Lions are up huge at this point. Like Dallas might be morally out of it at that point. So I don't know if that's a good indication to base off and say, hey, yeah, they did a good job. They were still able to get pressure. Is that sustainable for the rest of the season? And to be fairly honest with you, I don't have a great answer for you right now. But the good part is I think we have a 2-week window. I think you have a 2-week window to kind of really test out to see what you really have here. And when that trade deadline, I believe it is week 9, so it'll be week 7 next year. So you have 2 games to really see what you have here. And if it's not good enough, I think then we could see something Brad hasn't done since he's been the general manager of the Detroit Lions. Yes, Brad has been aggressive. He's been aggressive in the draft and traded up a bunch of spots to go get a player he really likes. He has done that before. But one thing Brad hasn't done as a general manager for the Detroit Lions is make that huge move of a player that's available at the market. We've seen him do some moves like Carlton Davis. That was a pretty big move. Trade a 3rd-round pick. You bring a starter in. But we haven't seen him, I don't know, mortgage a 1st-round pick yet for a potential player. Even a 2nd-round pick for a potential player. I think he is willing to do the move. We just haven't seen it here in Detroit yet. Obviously, where he comes from in LA, very aggressive team. I mean, before this past draft that we just had in Detroit, the Rams' last 1st-round pick was Jared Goff. So that shows you how aggressive they have been in the past to bring in players to fulfill a Super Bowl window. And obviously, it has worked for them because they won the Super Bowl in 2021 with Matthew Stafford in his first year there. But, it's going to be interesting. And I don't think he has to panic and say, hey, tomorrow, let's go make a big move right now. I think he can go bring some depth in within the meantime. But as far as you're indicating a Max Crosby, to make a move like that, or like a Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati or a Hassan Reddick on the Jets or whatever, right? You have to, I think you have a couple weeks to play out with what you have right now in your system. You can see what they're really all about. And I guess we'll get the answer. I think we have to see how these 2 games play out. Obviously, you have a huge division game next week, undefeated Minnesota Vikings. You go to their place. How do they respond without Aiden Hutchinson? That's going to be a good indication. So obviously a huge loss. It's one of the biggest losses you could have afforded this season, obviously. So we'll see how they responded, and they responded well when he went out in this game. But like I said, morally, the Cowboys might have been out of it. I think we'll get a better indication of how they'll respond defensively going next week, and we'll see how it goes going forward.
Yeah, man, it's tough, man, because you already lost Marcus Davenport, man. So you're pretty much, you talk about right now, you just lost both your starting edge rushers. So
right,
it's definitely tough, man. But like you said, man, we have a 2-week window. Who wants it? Who's a guy who wants to be the star of the defensive line? Who wants to step up and want to be that star player for us right now? Who wants that role? Right now, it's looking like a Lee McNeil. We saw some flashes in a few games from Levi Enrique. He's been really well. He played really well this year. But who's gonna be that guy to step up, man? James Houston. This is your time right here, man. James Houston has an opportunity right here to be that star guy right now. But we'll see.
I feel like James Houston's had so many chances though, and I just feel like he hasn't, came up in those opportunities yet. And obviously now it's a lot more different without Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport. But like I feel like they gave him some opportunities, especially even that Seattle game. Dude got 11 snaps in the Seattle game, has 2 freaking offsides. Like that's just not acceptable, man. You got to be better than that. And I think the staff, made a point today, and they made him inactive, and they called up Isaac Uku, and they made him active. So, those guys really do have to step up, and we're going to see what happens. But another guy we could bring up too, 4th round pick, Mekhi Wingo, like maybe that could be a potential, like, someone to step up. Like someone has to step up, and has to be more than one guy, because you're not replacing Aiden Hutchinson's level with just one guy. Aiden Hutchinson was on pace to be the defensive player of the year right now. With how high the pressure rates he's getting, the sacks he's getting, like he was on pace to have a phenomenal year. And it's just unfortunate, man.
That's tough.
Unfortunate,
man.
He's done for the year.
It's tough, man. It comes at a point where we're blowing him out too, man. And it's a freak accident, man. Nothing you can really do against that.
I know.
The game is still too early to bench the players, because you don't bench players in third quarter. It's just unfortunate, man. Especially look at the circumstances, because everything was going right for Detroit. Everything was going right for the Lions.
Yeah.
And then that happens, man.
It's never just perfect. It never just goes the way like it has to go, like where everything is perfect.
That'll be too easy.
Yeah.
We had adversity, man.
Yeah, we had a couple injuries in this game, and obviously injuries are just the game of the NFL. It's going to happen eventually. You hope to limit them and not have severe ones, and obviously you had a very severe one here with Aiden Hutchinson. So, but yeah, we have some other ones to monitor going through the week. Carlton Davis checked out of the game, looked like a head injury, but I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he got one hell of he got karate kicked in the head.
Yeah, he got kicked. Yeah, but it looked like he was on the sideline after.
Karate kick.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. And then Kyle Pecco in the defensive line also got a pectoral injury. They ruled him out pretty early. So you got some injuries, man. You got some injuries from this great game that we had today versus the Cowboys, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we kind of talked about it. Yeah, I think the next 2 weeks will be big for what the indication we'll do with Hutch, and what they'll bring in and everything. So
I think everybody wants a trade. I think that's what everybody would want, is a trade. It'll be exciting, especially getting somebody new here, somebody that's elite. We see what happens though.
Yeah. It looks like Hutchinson's already had surgery. So
huh?
It says from Jordan Schultz, the Lions say Aiden Hutchinson had immediate surgery on the injury.
Oh.
So he already got it over with. Yeah.
That'd be wild. Wait, there's no way he comes back this season.
No, not a broken tibia. I would be shocked. It'd have to be a miracle.
Like if he can, like say if we made to the Super Bowl.
I think it'd have to be a miracle.
Shit, that would be wild as hell, man.
I mean, to be like, dude, you know what it kind of reminded me of? Like basketball fans would probably remember this, like the Paul George injury. That's what it kind of reminded me of a little bit. Like
Yeah,
just
that's
like
what it did.
like a very gruesome injury that just
Yeah.
it's gonna take a year to recover, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. You
There's
got to rehab. He's probably not gonna be able to walk. He's not gonna be able to walk for a while. He's got to rehab, and it's gonna be a while. Yeah,
you're not rushing that. He's not coming back in 2024. So.
No.
Okay, let's do our oopsie doopsie and ballers of the week. That's our new thing, ballers of the week.
Game balls, no Diddy.
Yeah, you give
no baby oil.
3 game balls. All right, I'll get off the rockers. All right. Oopsie doopsie of the week. Where do I go with this? Is anyone the Lions side of the field? Absolutely the hell not. No, there was no one that deserves the oopsie doopsie of the week on the Lions side of the ball. So we're gonna minus that. I'm gonna give the oopsie doopsie to the birthday boy, Jerry Jones. Happy birthday, brother!
Ooh. Congrats.
I hope you enjoyed that ass kicking in your home place, brother.
He didn't, man. He looked disgusted. He had to look disgust the entire game.
I loved it, man. I loved every second of that. That was just that was amazing, dude. That was amazing. Oopsie doopsie, Jerry Jones. For what? I don't know. Fuck Jerry Jones. Fuck the Cowboys. Jerry Jones. Oopsie doopsie.
He deserves it. He deserves it. All right. So I have the pleasure of taking over Pierre's segment and giving out 3 game balls. I'm gonna say no Diddy after that. I was like saying 3 balls in the same sentence. So I'm giving out the 3 game balls. So let's start. This is hard because damn near everybody played well. But I'm gonna start off and give the first one to David Montgomery. Why? Because that brother cannot be stopped. he just can't be stopped. You can't tackle him. You cannot tackle him. The amount of broken tackles he created this game and yards after contact, out of this world. I don't have the exact number, but I know that number is high. He's a guy that can't be stopped. 2 touchdowns, 12 attempts, 80 yards. He gets the first game ball. For me. The second one,
absolutely agree.
Yeah, he played his ass off. The second one, man. This is hard because I want to give it to more people because like so many people played well, but these next 2 are coming from the defensive side of the ball. In the first one, I'm giving it to Aleem McNeil. Aleem McNeil played his best game he played all year. He played his ass off. 2 sacks, and this was dominant. And this is the guy like we're talking about earlier. We were looking for a guy to step up and want to, make this be a situation where Brad Holmes does not have to, use draft capital to go out and get somebody. If that's Aleem McNeil steps up and being an elite player, if he could create pressure consistently, he could be that guy, man. And this game, he just dominated. So he's getting the second game ball. The third one, none other than Brian Branch. Jesus Christ. Brian Branch was all over this goddamn field. If he's not getting picks, he's tackling somebody. If he's not tackling somebody, he's punching the ball out. He's doing damn near everything. He's all over the field. He's in the box. He's playing deep high. He's everywhere. I saw him in coverage. He was just lined up against another receiver. He's damn near everywhere. Brian Branch. He's the third. I should have just gave it to him first because he probably was a player of the game. The way he dominated this defense, it was just all over the field. But yeah, he gets the third game ball.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, there's so many guys you left out too because you only have 3 of them.
You could give it to Jared Goff, fucking J-Mo, fucking
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. I mean, there's so many.
Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn. There's so many guys, man. But I had to narrow down 3, 1 offensive and the 2 because those guys. This was their best game defensively this year. So I had to give him the book. I had to give him the game ball. And then Demo, man, he just makes break like the whole art of breaking tackling. He just makes it so easy. It's like an art to him.
Yeah. You know, one guy, I'm not necessarily saying a game ball, but who stepped up in this game in a good positive way that we didn't even mention, Tim Patrick, man. Shout out to Tim Patrick, dude.
Oh, the best game. Another one, best game for him too, man. Should have had a touchdown.
It was a bit short. That would have been nice if he got a touchdown. He hasn't had one since 2021, so that would have been really cool for him if he got that touchdown. But for my fantasy football team, I was very happy to get David Montgomery. Well, getting back to though, Tim Patrick has been great though, man. That first catch, man, that was I think Goff's first pass attempt or first completion, whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was an unreal snag by him, man. That should have been a pass interference on Amani and ended up playing through the contact and just got that ball, man. He ain't caught it, dude. That was very, very impressive. And then, like you said, the second one where was 1 yard away from the touchdown, and then all fantasy owners or anytime touchdown scores with David Montgomery were rejoicing.
Me.
Well, he already had one for you, so you only needed one, right?
Yeah, I needed one. I only needed one, but it's still, man. I mean, Tim Patrick plays ass off. You what I love about this is kind of going back. When the broadcasters fuck up Amani Warrior's name, for some reason now I take joy
Brady.
Of it. Yeah, it was Brady, but just every time they fuck up his name now, I take joy of it. Like, bro, I don't know. I guess I'm petty too. For some reason, I guess because he started to suck ass like towards the end, like it just makes me so. Is like when they say his name wrong, I'm like, yes, that's right. Say his name wrong. Call him Mario Warrior. Call him whatever you want to call him. But I don't know why I take joy now when they fuck his name up. It's weird.
I love how Brady he completely botched the name, and KB, his partner, Kevin Burkhardt, he goes, I was impressed you at least tried at it, and kudos to Brady tried it, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, I think I'm just gonna call him Monty for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's how we were when he first became.
When we first drafted him, I had no idea how to say his name.
Man.
We thought it was like Amani Aruwe or something like that.
Aruwe.
Yeah. I think it's the real way now is Amani Oruwariye. That's I believe that's the right way to pronounce it.
If not, we've been saying it wrong the whole time.
We've still been saying it wrong.
If we did, kudos to that because shit, I take joy in the heart when they fuck up his name now. So it's great.
That's funny. That was you're like it's a regular season game at the end of the day, and you celebrate every win. But man, outside of some division games, I don't think it gets better than that. I don't think it gets better than that because that felt like a division game, man. The way the Cowboys have dominated this team for the last 10 years, it's just so satisfying. They're such a hateable team. I hate them. But to go in their place and dominate, man, just a beautiful sight, man. It's a beautiful sight.
Especially seeing the Lions fan take over, man. I think I said that was beautiful, man. Beautiful to see. This was a very special game, and this is going to go off script a little bit because I'm going to talk about myself here.
Go for it.
Yeah. I just have to mention because this was such a great game for me. Not only did the Lions dominate this game, but I just nailed a 5-leg. What was it? Plus 4,000, 40,000 parlay. That just landed me $1,300. Just from this Lion game itself. So it was magical, and the reason why because at the fourth quarter, I just needed a Kirby Joseph interception. I'm here messaging my guys, Tyler and Pierre here. I'm like, man, I'm a Kirby Joseph pick away from winning $1,300. And in the moment I hit send, I look up and fucking Kirby Joseph get the interception. So that this was one of the best games for me. That's all I can say.
Hey, as Guy says, fuck the Cowboys.
Fuck the Cowboys.
All right. Shout out to you, Malcolm, for hitting that huge bet. That's awesome.
Woo!
Shout out to the Lions for absolutely.
Shout out to the Lions, man. Yeah, man. Let it happen.
All right, y'all. That's as good as it gets, man. It's as good as it gets. Enjoy it. You guys deserve to enjoy it. Victory Monday is going to hit a little more tomorrow, I think. It's going to be a great Victory Monday. So enjoy it. You're at work, school, whatever you're doing. Enjoy it tomorrow. It's going to be a great day. Wear your Lions gear and just enjoy it, man. That's just as good as it gets, dude. It's as good as it gets. All right, y'all. We're going to sign off right now. I hope you guys all enjoyed this live show. We will be back sometime next week. Expect the episode probably Thursday or Friday. Game preview, big division game, Minnesota Vikings. So look forward to that. And obviously, if there is that big trade, we'll talk about that too. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting couple weeks, couple days, whatever, right? It's going to be really interesting to see what the Lions end up doing with this whole situation. So hope you guys all enjoyed again.
Yep.
I'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right, y'all. It's your boy Malcolm, and I am out. Peace.